Join me as I dive into the fascinating and complex journey of Germany after Hitler. And let's see if I can piece together how a nation rebuilt itself from the ashes. The fall of Hitler's regime marked a significant turning point in modern European history. As the dust settled and the world began to come to terms with the atrocities committed during the war, one question loomed large. What would become of Germany? The nation that had once been the epicenter of Nazi power was left to pick up the pieces and forge a new path. For many, it was unimaginable that Germany could ever recover from the devastating consequences of Hitler's reign. The country was broken, its cities lay in ruins, and its people were left to confront the shame of their recent past. And yet, against all odds, Germany would rise from the ashes, reborn as a modern democratic nation. In order to understand this transformation, it's essential to look back at the events that led to Germany's downfall. By examining the rise and fall of Hitler, we can gain a deeper understanding of the nation's psyche and the circumstances that allowed such a dictator to rise to power. The seeds of Hitler's regime were sown in the aftermath of World War I, when the Treaty of Versailles imposed harsh penalties on Germany, crippling its economy and fueling a sense of resentment among its people. In the years leading up to World War II, Germany was in chaos. The Weimar Republic, established in the aftermath of World War I, was plagued by hyperinflation, high unemployment, and a sense of political instability. It was against this backdrop that Hitler and the Nazi Party rose to power, promising to restore German greatness and provide a sense of national pride. As Hitler's regime tightened its grip on Germany, the nation became increasingly isolated from the rest of the world. The 1936 Olympics in Berlin, initially intended as a symbol of German strength, instead became a platform for the Nazis to showcase their ideology to a global audience. Despite the growing warning signs, the world was slow to respond to the Nazi threat. It wasn't until the invasion of Poland in 1939 that Europe was finally forced to confront the reality of Hitler's aggression, leading to the declaration of war. The war that followed would leave Germany in ruins. Its cities were bombed, its infrastructure was destroyed, and its people were left to face the consequences of their leaders' brutal ambitions. And yet, even as the Allies closed in on Berlin, Hitler refused to surrender, convinced that he could still turn the tide of the war. In the end, it was the Soviet army that would breach the walls of Berlin. Discovering the atrocities committed by the Nazi regime, the world was horrified by the brutality of the concentration camps, and the full extent of Hitler's crimes was finally revealed. In the aftermath of the war, Germany was occupied by the Allied powers, who sought to prevent the nation from ever again becoming a military threat. The Nuremberg trials brought Nazi war criminals to justice, and the world began to come to terms with the enormity of the atrocities committed during the war. The Potsdam Agreement, signed in 1945, marked the beginning of Germany's reconstruction. The country was divided into 4 zones, each occupied by one of the Allied powers. It was against this backdrop that the Cold War began to take shape, with the Soviet Union and the United States emerging as rival superpowers. In 1948, the United States launched the Marshall Plan, a massive aid program designed to rebuild war-torn Europe. Germany was a key beneficiary of this plan, receiving billions of dollars in aid and investment. As the economy began to recover, the Western powers moved to establish a new German state. The Federal Republic of Germany, also known as West Germany, was established in 1949 with its capital in Bonn. Meanwhile, the Soviet Union established the German Democratic Republic, or East Germany, with its capital in East Berlin. The division of Germany was a reflection of the deeper ideological divide that was emerging in Europe. The Western powers, led by the United States, were committed to promoting democracy and free market economies, while the Soviet Union sought to expand its communist influence across the continent. East Germany was a Soviet satellite state, its economy and politics closely tied to Moscow. The government, led by Walter Ulbricht, was communist in nature, and the nation was heavily militarized. In contrast, West Germany was a beacon of democracy and freedom. Its government, led by Konrad Adenauer, was committed to rebuilding the nation and promoting European integration. The division of Germany was more than just a physical border. It was a symbol of the deeper ideological divide that was emerging in Europe. The Cold War was a conflict of ideas, with the Western powers promoting democracy and freedom, while the Soviet Union sought to expand its communist influence. As the years passed, the rivalry between East and West Germany only intensified. The Berlin blockade, imposed by the Soviet Union in 1948, was a major crisis point, with the United States and its allies responding with a massive airlift to supply the city. The construction of the Berlin Wall in 1961 was a physical manifestation of the division that had emerged in Germany. The wall, which stood for 28 years, became a powerful symbol of the Cold War, separating families and communities. East Germany, meanwhile, was a police state, with the Stasi, its secret police, keeping a close eye on its citizens. The government, led by Erich Honecker, was repressive and dissent was not tolerated. Despite the challenges, West Germany continued to thrive, its economy growing rapidly as it became an integral part of the European community. The nation played a key role in European integration, and its leaders, including Helmut Kohl, were instrumental in shaping the European project. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 marked a major turning point in German history. As the crowds surged through the gates, it became clear that the division of Germany was no longer sustainable. In the aftermath of the wall's fall, East Germany was dissolved, and its people voted overwhelmingly to reunify with West Germany. The process was complex, with the West German government working closely with the Soviet Union to negotiate the terms of reunification. On October 3, 1990, Germany was officially reunited, with Berlin becoming the capital of the new nation. The reunification process was a complex one, with the government working to bring the two nations together. Today, Germany is a thriving democracy, playing a key role in European and global affairs. The nation has come to terms with its past, and its people are proud of their ability to rebuild and recover from the ashes of war. As we look back on the story of Germany after Hitler, it's clear that the nation's transformation was a complex and multifaceted one. From the ruins of war to the reunification of the 1990s, Germany's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and determination. The lessons of Germany's past continue to resonate today, serving as a reminder of the importance of promoting democracy, freedom, and human rights around the world. I hope you've enjoyed this journey through the fascinating story of Germany after Hitler. If you're interested in learning more about this period, I highly recommend checking out some of the recommended readings on the subject. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on European history and the Cold War. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.